Hey, good morning, grade 10th. I hope you are well. Can we double tap on the screen there, guys? Just double tap on the screen. Let's get the likes up there to 1000k if we can. 1k likes, please. We can double tap. Yes, and the live lesson today is for grade 10. Hope you guys can see the sticker there. Hopefully the sticker is very much seen there, guys. You can see it very well. Just confirm for me how is the network. Can you guys please confirm for me how is the network? Is the connectivity fine? All right, we are waiting for grade 10s to join the live. Can we tap on the screen for now as we wait for them to come? Grade 10 maths, pure maths. Can we double tap on the screen? Can we tap, guys, please? Tap, tap, tap. Also, can you guys confirm for me how the connectivity is? Yes, this is grade 10. Calling the grade 10s. We are going to be continuing with maths. I'll be starting at 8. I just need for us to double tap on the screen for now. Get the likes up there. We are starting with, or we are continuing from yesterday's lesson on factorization. We started factorization yesterday. Okay, very, very important topic because it lays a solid foundation for the grade that is coming up. So I need you guys to tap, tap, tap. Get our likes up there. Today we need to get this on the FYP page and start harassing people that are on holiday mode. It is the 2nd day of January. So hopefully our New Year's resolutions are still popping. We are still interested and invested in making sure that they are a reality. We always like starting, I think everyone in life likes starting off on a high note. Please, guys, down there in the message, please do, if you can, share the live. When you feel good, please do gift. If you feel bad, gift anyways. Whether you're feeling the lesson or not. I just need you guys to confirm for me, how's the network? How is the connectivity? Is the connectivity fine? Is it bad or is it okay? Confirm for me in the comment section, please. How is the connectivity? Is the network connection? Are you guys hearing me okay? Am I lagging? I'm gonna make you guys dizzy now. Move this thing back and forth. Just let me know in the comment section. Connectivity, are we fine? Is connectivity fine? Let's tap, guys, on the screen, please, as we wait for the others to join. Is connectivity fine? I haven't started yet. I'll be starting at 8 exactly. Just waiting for others to join. Waiting for others to join. Grade 10, guys. Can't we read there on the screen? There is a yellow tag there, guys, that says grade 10. Okay, yeah. I don't know if people can read. I almost feel like these holidays have taken away people's logical and perception and being able to see things. Can we tap on the screen, guys, please? Let's get the likes up there. Hello, Ethan, with your cry. I don't know why you are crying so early in the morning, Ethan. Grade 10 maths, guys. Let's get started. Let's double tap. Let's get to 1,000 likes at least. I will only be starting when we get to 1,000 likes. It seems like we are struggling to get there, so I will not start until then. I will not start until we are at 1,000 likes. We are at 573 likes, guys, and that is very poor. Really, really poor. So can we double tap on the screen, please, and get the likes up there at 1,000. Confirm for me if the connectivity is fine. Am I lagging? Are we okay? All right, I can only rely on what you guys say. Is the connectivity fine? Are we lagging? Or we are fine? There's no problem. Confirm for me, please. Okay, we are coming very close. 1,000 likes is coming up. Okay, we are there. Thank you very much, guys. That was not so difficult. Now, since we are 1,000 likes, guys, let's get it up to 2,000. Let's not delay to get these likes up there. Why? Because we want to be on the FYP page so that more people can join and more people can support the live lesson, guys, because that's important, right? It's so important. All right, please, when you can, if it's in your reach, support the live goal. That's really good because that really helps me a lot. It helps me personally to continue having the interest to continue doing what I'm doing. Of course, I don't really need that to continue, but it helps. It helps a big deal, guys. Hello, Jeffrey Njangase. It's good seeing you. Yeah, as we continue to tap. I think, let me officially start at 2K likes. I haven't started yet, guys. Still waiting for people to join. We now have 127 people. If every single person that is here can just tap on the screen. And grade 10s, we are waiting for grade 10 learners to come join us because we are busy with factorization. Can I just get an indication who was here in the lesson yesterday when we started the topic of factorization? Who was here? Who was present yesterday when we started this topic? I want my people that were present yesterday that saw me do this lesson and were part of the lesson to indicate that I was here in the comment section. As we double tap, can you comment if you were here? If you are here for the first time, I guess welcome. Please do follow the live creator if you are here for the first time. We are going to start with factorization for grade 10. We are going to continue, actually not start. If you missed the lesson, okay, Pipska forever, yes, very good, you were here definitely. If you missed the live lesson yesterday, I am not going to repeat what I did yesterday, which is basically all of this. As you can see, this first problem, second problem, third problem, fourth, the fifth, then we jumped to the seventh. Okay, there were valuable explanations given for these particular problems and concepts, specific concepts that we covered through these examples that I was able to explain, including the rules of factorization that we apply. All right, so today I'm not going to start there. If you want to check out what I did yesterday, go to my YouTube channel. The link to my YouTube channel, guys, is in the bio. So if you go to my homepage, all right, if you go to my homepage, let me just show you for a little bit. If you go to my homepage, this is the homepage. You go down there, you will see Maths is a Game. There is the icon. You will then see that there's a link in my bio, this link. right? You should be able to click on that particular link, right? Then it will send you outside. You go and open the external link. It says you are about to open an external website. Be cautious and keep your personal information safe. You click on that link, you wait. It will send you to my YouTube channel. Here, guys, I upload all the lessons that I've done here on the live lessons. Every single lesson that I've done, it's uploaded on this page. The latest videos, right, that I've actually uploaded. So at the moment, the factorization video for grade 10, the first one I did, is currently being uploaded. Okay, so you're just going to have to wait for it. It's currently being uploaded. I uploaded it this morning. Okay, yeah. When it does upload and it is there, I just want to show you something here so that you guys know the profile picture that the current, yeah, this is the profile picture. This is the thumbnail you will see for the YouTube video. Sorry, it's a bit sort of like out of picture, out of view. Very sorry about that. Let's see if I can't possibly get. Sure. I want to show it to you guys. There. Yeah, I'm sure you can see now. That is the thumbnail that the grade 10 factorization video will have. Okay, so it's still currently uploading. It's gonna take some time, but when it is finally uploaded, it will be there for you to be able to watch. You can watch what I did yesterday after it has uploaded. So for now, I am going to continue to part 2 so that there can be continuity in the next video that I do. So I'm going to continue now with part 2 of factorization. If you missed the first part, it's your responsibility to go and watch the video in the YouTube channel. Okay, so that's just something that you can do for yourself. I think let's start now. I believe the people that are here are the ones that are going to stay and who are going to learn what needs to be learned and grow where they need to grow. Okay, hope we are all ready. We are all excited. So let's get this show on the road. Okay, today we are going to look at algebraic expressions that have 3 terms where the constant is not positive as we learned yesterday, but is negative. Where the constant is negative this time around. Yesterday, guys, we looked at when the constant is positive. So today we are going to look at problems where the constant is negative and see what it is that we do with problems where the constant is negative. So let's go back to the rules. The first thing we do whenever we look at an expression, we ask ourselves, how many terms are in the expression? So guys, how many terms do you see here in this expression? Okay. How many terms do you see in the expression, grade 10s? Thank you. There are 3 terms, right? Now, with the 3 terms, how did you count those terms? We know that terms are separated by a plus and a minus sign. So they are 1 minus sign, 2 minus sign, 3. So there are 3 terms indeed in total. That is the first question we need to clear out of the way. Now, since there are 3 terms, we have rules that we follow whenever we have an expression of 3 terms. The first thing we need to vet or make sure that we clear out of the way is the following. Can we apply the sign change rule, or should we apply the sign change rule? Okay. Alright, I just want to remind you guys, 3 terms. We apply the sign change rule if necessary. The SCR, the sign change rule, if necessary. So is it necessary to apply the sign change rule here? No. No, we don't have to apply the sign change rule. So we move on to the next step. Is there a highest common factor? We take out a highest common factor if it exists. According to what? The sign, the number, and the letter. So if we go back to this expression, is there a highest common factor that we can take out according to the sign, the number, and the letter? Because if there is, we want to take out that highest common factor and open brackets. So is there a highest common factor in this expression? So remember, when we take out the highest common factor, we take it out according to the sign, the number, and the letter. Samantha, for grade 9, please follow my other channel, my other TikTok page, which is also called Maths is a Game, because all grade 8 and 9 lessons, all announcements pertaining to grade 8 and 9 lessons will be announced on that channel. Okay, so for instance, let me just give you a heads up. Tomorrow morning at 7, I will be doing a grade 8 and 9 lesson, not on this page, but on the other Maths is a Game page, which is also Maths is a Game, and it's got a green profile picture with a green background. So go and check out, search on TikTok for the grade for the channel Maths is a Game 5 to 7. That's what it's actually named and labeled as. It has a green profile picture. That's where I do grade 8 and 9 lessons, right? So please check that out. Okay, check that out there. So anyways, just continuing on with this factorization problem. X squared minus 5x minus 6, as I said, there are 3 terms. Now the next question, is there a highest common factor in these 3 terms? So that's what I'm going to wait for you to answer. Is there a highest common factor? We saw that with the sign change rule, we don't have to apply. Is there a highest common factor? Okay, Pepska Forever is saying yes, there is. What is the highest common factor there? It is 1. Okay, 1. In actual fact, positive 1 is the highest common factor. Remember, when we take out the highest common factor, we take out firstly the highest common factor sign. So the first term in our expression will give us the sign that we need to take out as the highest common factor. We take out the highest common factor sign. It is positive. Then we go on to the number. Between 1, -5, 5, and 6, what is the highest common factor? It is 1. Then the letter of the alphabet. Is there a common letter for these 3 terms? No, there isn't. So our highest common factor, yes, as you've said, is positive 1. So we are going to open a bracket. Outside, we write a positive 1, but remember, this positive 1 does not necessarily have to be written. We know that the 1 is there, even though we do not write it down. Okay, but I'm just going to show you that yes, there's a positive 1 on the outside. When you take out a positive 1, what is left inside the bracket? Okay, it is still x squared, which is positive. It is still negative 5x, and it is still negative 6, because the number 1, we call it in grade 8 and 9 that 1 is an identity element. When you multiply 1 with another number, you still get that other particular term. So taking out positive 1 does not affect the terms inside the bracket. Okay, positive 1 times x squared gives you x squared. Positive 1 times negative 5x still gives you negative 5. Positive 1 times negative 6 still gives you negative 6. So by doing this, we now have moved from having 1, 2, 3 terms to now having how many terms? in the expression. When we have brackets around x squared minus 5x minus 6, we now have how many terms, guys? How many terms do we have in the expression now? Yes, babes, thank you so much. Okay, it seems like you are really the only person who is active in this live lesson. Okay, it's crazy. 57 people in the live, one person is active and really participating in the comment section. Insane. Anyways, hello Anna Roth, Miss Flying Apple. Okay, so then the next step is we can now look at what is inside the bracket and ask ourselves, can we factorize this 1, 2, 3 terms that are inside the bracket? And how can we do that? So we now have what we call, guys, a quadratic trinomial. We call this a quadratic trinomial. So we are going to now factorize using a specific method. We are going to factorize the quadratic trinomial using a specific method, if it is possible that we can factorize it. Not all trinomials can be factorized, but if we can factorize it, we go ahead and factorize it. Now this is what we can look at as we factorize. We look at the sign of the constant term. The x squared term and the x term we are having there. But this here, the last term, we look at the sign of this last term. Okay, but we must make sure that our quadratic trinomial is written in descending powers. The squared, the x to the power 1, the constant term or the last term. We look at the sign of the constant term. What sign, guys, is this? What sign is this? The sign of the constant term. The sign is, thank you, Madam Rue, it is negative. Very important for you to note that. So if the constant is negative, we know that that is what we call a difference. A difference means we are going to have different signs in the bracket that we open. So when we factorize, we are going to open two brackets. But inside these two brackets that we open, we are going to have different signs. Where do we get the indication that we are going to have different signs? It is because a negative for our last term means difference in English. And that difference means we are going to have different signs in the bracket. The signs in the bracket are not going to be the same. The signs in the bracket are going to be different. So we know the signs are going to be different. Why? Because after factorizing and taking out the highest common factor, the constant term or the last term is negative. What does negative mean? It means difference. What does difference mean? It means we are going to have different signs inside the bracket that we open. The two brackets that we open, we are going to have different signs, not the same sign. You will remember from our previous example that when the constant is positive, That means we are going to have the same signs. We established that from yesterday's lesson. But now, guys, for our quadratic trinomial, after taking out the highest common factor, if the constant is negative, that means difference. That means we are going to have different signs inside the brackets. Okay. So for our signs inside the bracket, we are going to write a negative sign and a positive sign. The signs are different. Then, the other thing to note is that the highest factor of that last term is going to be, how is it going to be? It is going to be the same sign as the middle term, the highest factor of the last term. We are going to check what are the factors of the last term. And from the factors of the last term, the highest factor is going to adopt the sign of the middle term. I repeat, we are going to check what is the factors of 6. List those pair of factors, which when we multiply give us -6. But then when we add those factors, they should give us -5, which therefore means that our highest factor from the factors of 6 will be having a negative sign inside these brackets. The highest factor of the last term is going to be having the sign of the middle term. The sign of middle term. So let me just go to the side here, guys, and rewrite this question. X squared minus 5x minus 6. I just want to have a little bit more space. Okay, remember, first thing I asked, how many terms are in the expression? You said 3. Second question I asked, can we apply the sign change rule? No. Is there a highest common factor? Yes. What is that highest common factor? We open a bracket, we take out the highest common factor, it is +1. What is left inside the bracket? X squared minus 5x minus 6. Why? Because when taking out a +1, that does not change the terms inside the bracket. How many terms do we now have? We have 1 term. Why? Because of the bracket. We then come here to the last term and we ask ourselves, what is the sign of the last term? The sign of the last term, guys, we have a negative sign for the last term. What does it mean? It means we have a difference, because minus means difference. What does that effectively mean for my 2 brackets that I will open as I factorize, because I can see this can be factorized? It means I'm going to have different signs inside my bracket. I am going to have what? Difference means different signs where inside my 2 brackets. So this needs to be understood as the highest factor of the last term. The highest factor of the last term. The highest factor of the last term will have the sign of the middle term. Okay, remember this is grade 10. Okay, this is grade 10. Grade 10 learners. I think all the people who are saying, can't we use the trinomial equation? Can't we use this and that? Guys, this is grade 10, and grade 10s need to first learn the basics of factorization. So if you are coming here and you are saying all these things as an experienced and more advanced learner, you are in grade 11, you are in grade 12, and you are saying many things, those things cannot be said at the moment, because grade 10s and 9s need to learn the fundamentals and the meaning behind the concept of factorization. We shortchange and shortcut the process of them internalizing the concept when we want to impose what is learned in later grades. So chill, right? All these people that are writing in the comment section, please, my tag says grade 10. It's not saying grade 11 or grade 12. So please, your methods, I don't want them here. Okay, don't want them here. So like I said, guys, the minus sign is for the constant term, means difference. That means we are going to have different signs inside my bracket. So that translates to the fact that if I'm going to now check what are the factors of 6, let's check what are the factors of 6. You tell me, guys, in the comment section, what are the factors of 6? All right, because from there I want to come up with the pair of factors which is going to work for this situation. The factors of 6, guys, the first one, thank you, Leto Kuhle. 1 is a factor of 6. It goes into 6 times. So that means 1 and 6 are my pair, because 1 times 6 gives me 6. 2, like Leto Kuhle said, goes into 6 how many times? 3 times. So 2 and 3 is another pair of factors of 6. Okay, so listen, I said the highest factor of the last term will have the sign of the middle term. What is the middle term? It's negative. So that means the highest factor, let's look at 1 and 6. Which number is the highest here between 1 and 6? Between 1 and 6, which number is the highest? And between 2 and 3, which number is the highest? From the pair of factors, we are going to say the highest factor has the sign of the middle term. There it is. Negative will be attached to 6. Then for 2 and 3, negative will be attached to 3. Okay, that means 1 is positive and 2 is positive, right? Guys, I think we all can see that multiplying 1 and negative 6 is going to give us negative 6 when we multiply. Okay, when we multiply for both situations, 2 times negative 3 is going to give us negative 6. So there's no doubt that multiplication is going to give us negative 6. Okay, Lindelani, you're funny. But the addition of the terms, we want the addition of factors that will give us negative 5. All right. So which one, when we add together, will give us negative 1? So when we add 1 minus 6 gives us negative 5. 2 minus 3 gives us negative 1. So which pair of factors is going to work for our bracket? Here. Okay, it's evident, guys. that it's going to be 1 and negative 6 that is going to work, not 2 and negative 3. Okay, so what we then do is the minus and the plus, we would have written down the signs to begin with. Why? Because remember I said to you, what does the negative sign mean for the brackets? It means we are going to have different signs inside the bracket, but the highest factor, this is an important rule to note, the highest factor of the last term will always, guys, it's always going to have the sign of the middle term. The what? The highest factor. The important thing to note, the highest factor of the factors of 6 is going to have the sign of the what? Of the middle term. Where's the middle term? It is this term. What is the sign of the middle term? It is negative. So the highest factor always takes on the sign of the middle term. The highest factor always takes on the sign of the middle term. Please take note. We know we are going to have different signs inside the bracket. Why? Because the constant last term is negative. Negative sign means difference. Difference means different signs. Different signs were inside the bracket, which therefore means the highest factor of the last term is going to have the sign of the middle term. So we find the factors of 6, just 6 as a number. Forget about the sign, because we've already taken care of the sign. We know the signs are different, minus, positive. Then after that, what do? Check the factors of 6. Take the pairs. 1 times 6 gives us 6. 2 times 3 gives us 6. Then after that, we assign the highest factor of each pair with the sign of the middle term. What is the sign of the middle term? It's negative. So that means for the pair 1 and 6, we assign negative to 6 because it's the biggest number. 2 and negative 3, we assign negative to the biggest number. We know the multiplication is going to definitely give us the last term. Multiplication should always give us the last term. The addition should give us the coefficient of the constant, the coefficient of the middle term. So the addition must always give us what we see here, which is negative 5. So is it 1 minus 6 that gives me negative 5? Or is it 2 minus 3 that gives me negative 5? It is definitely going to be 1 and negative 6. So when I come here, assigned here, I'm going to write 6. Assigned there, I'm going to write 1. Because negative 6 times positive 1 gives me the last term. Multiplication must give me the last term. Addition of these two must give me the coefficient of the middle term. It does that, guys. Negative 6 times positive 1, I get negative 6. The addition of negative 6 plus 1 gives me negative 5. So I now have sorted out my sign and my number for my factors inside the bracket. What I now need is the letter, which means x squared. I get it by x and x, which therefore means that that is the final answer. Okay. Any questions, guys, from this particular example? Anything you guys want to clarify? Something you don't understand? Now, some of you may already know how to factorize without really understanding all of this. Good for you. Keep it that way. Do not change your method of working because you see me do this. You guys might intuitively know how to approach the question without necessarily having to think. Because when you are in grade 9, you mastered the concept. You mastered how to factorize. Good for you. Keep it like that. My beloved grade 10 learner, don't slip. Don't let it slide. Do not adjust and fit into what I'm doing here. If you already know, intuitively, it's almost as if it's second nature for you to know that when you are factorizing, you simply go ahead straight and you answer it, and it's 100% fine. Keep it up. But if you have not grasped the concept, then I invite you to consider what I've just sort of like shown you here. Remember, all of these notes, I'm writing them down because it's for the purpose of teaching. When you answer the actual question, you are going to go directly to taking out the highest common factor. And then after that, you are going to factorize the trinomial. Knowing, of course, that the factors inside your bracket, when you multiply these two, you must get the constant term. When you add -6 and +1, you must get the coefficient of the middle term. Okay? I hope that's clear. Okay? If there's any questions, I'm going to open 1 minute for you guys to ask if you have any questions whatsoever. Any questions. But let's continue though. If not, double tapping on the screen, and then also just consider the if you can, if you are in the position of that beautiful sweet life gift, it helps a lot. 2026 we have entered, guys, and we are entering with power and style, and we are intentional about what we are doing this year. Thank you so much, Kumza. I really appreciate it. The first out of the many 2026s I'm intending to get this year. Thank you so much, Kumza. I really appreciate it. Okay, next, if there's no question, guys, I think that minute has lapsed. I'm going to also then approach the next question. Okay. X squared plus 5x minus 6. Exactly, Letokudle. Very true. All right. Yeah. That is basically the crux of the matter. But I would first encourage that you always check the highest common factor. Take it out. After you are done taking out the highest common factor, then you can proceed and find the two numbers, which are the factors, in other words, which when you multiply give you -6, but then when you add them give you -5. You can only do that if inside the bracket the coefficient of x squared is actually 1. Okay, let's look at this question. So once again, what do we have here? How many terms? We have 3 beautiful terms. Do we need to apply the sign change rule for these terms? Because that's the step-by-step procedure. Do we need to apply the sign change rule for these terms? No, there's no need. Is there a highest common factor for these particular terms? The highest common factor that we see, guys, a HCF, highest common factor. Does it exist? Is it there? Do we have a highest common factor for the expression that is listed above? Does the highest common factor exist here? Yes, Pamela Bono, thank you so much. Yes, we do. There's a highest common factor. The sign for the highest common factor, since the first term is positive, highest common factor is 1. 2, the highest common factor is definitely going to be +1. There's no letter that is common that we are taking out. So we are going to open a bracket and write x squared plus 5x minus 6. That's making this 1 term. From 3 terms, we now have 1 term because we have a bracket around that. We now see that there's a quadratic trinomial. So once again, the constant term, is it positive or negative? constant term is negative. So again, that means what? Difference, which means different signs in my bracket. So I'm going to open two brackets. Okay, the 1 is there. Whether you write it or not, the 1 is still there. Okay, unseen but present, like God, as we have said, guys, unseen but present. So when we open the two brackets, we can see that this is a negative. So that means different signs in my bracket. But these different signs, the highest factor this time round, since we always say the highest factor is going to be the sign of the middle term, it means that our highest factor is going to be not negative, as we saw here. The highest factor is going to be positive. Does that make sense, guys? So with negative, guys, as our constant, we are always saying the signs are going to be different. 1, 2. We are also saying that the sign of the middle term will dictate what the condition of the highest factor will be. The sign of the middle term will dictate what the condition of the highest factor will be. So once again, factors of 6. We have 1, 2, 3, and 6, but we know the pair 1 and 6, 2 and 3. The highest factor this time round is not going to have, like we had before, a negative sign, but the highest factor is going to have the sign of the middle term. So our highest factor is going to be positive. Then that means the other number is going to be negative. The multiplication will definitely give us -6. That's a given, because the minute we apply the logic of highest factor is going to have a positive sign, then of course we assign the signs for the highest factor. Then it means the other number is going to be negative. Multiplying is going to give us -6. That's a given. Which one of these factors, when we add together, will give us a +5? Which one of these factors will give us a +5 when we add the numbers together? Is it this one or is it that one? All right. Okay, I'm sure you guys can see which one it is. Okay, exactly, little Gutle. Thank you so much. So we first write down the signs. Okay, and I deliberately start with positive because I know this time around the highest factor must have the positive sign. Then of course I write 6 and -1. That takes care of my sign and my number for my brackets inside. Then x squared. How is x squared formed? I know that's 100% correct. No one needs to come and check. A teacher does not even have to come and check. I don't even need the teacher to come and verify. I don't have to go and say, "Sir, ma'am, is this correct?" You know, it's like I know, because I know what I'm doing, guys. I 100% know what I'm doing. I know 100% what I'm doing, guys. No doubt. You see grade 10s? You see grade 10s? I hope you see. I hope you see, my people. Thank you so much. Yeah, well, Ethan, it is what it is, eh? It is what it is. Okay, right? You guys get the drill, ne? You get the drill. I hope you guys get the drill. Okay? I hope you truly do get the drill. I hope you do truly understand what it is we are doing here. I truly hope so. Okay? I truly hope so. Ethan Arends. Sweet, man. Sweet. Alright. Let us look at another example. -x squared plus 5x minus 6. Okay. What do you guys see in the expression? How many terms do you see in the expression, grade 10s? Okay, there are 3 terms. And secondly, is there a need to apply the sign change rule? Okay, you guys can see there's no need to apply the sign change rule. Next question, is there a highest common factor? If there is, what is it? In the comment section. If there is a highest common factor, what is it? Thank you, Leto. Leto. I hope you receive, Leto Kuhle and the babes. You guys, I hope you can receive my, my virtual hug through the screen. You guys make me happy. It's absolutely like, I love it, okay? The highest common factor, guys, according to the sign, the number, and the letter, the first term is having a sign that is negative, so we take that out. The number that is common between 1, 5, and 6 is 1. And then lastly, the letter, there's no common letter. So the highest common factor that we have here is -1. We take that out. We take that out. KB official, you are a bit lost. So let's hang on there. This is not an equation, it is an expression. So we don't do what you just said, divide by -1. All right, I think you are excited, which is fine, but dealing with grade 10 factorization here. Question is saying factorize fully. Okay, let's hang on there. Hang on there. Take out the highest common factor, -1. What are we left with inside the bracket? Remember, guys, when we take out a negative sign, that changes the signs of all the terms inside the bracket. Okay, negative times what gives you a negative? That means the first term now is going to be positive. But positive what? X squared. Negative times what gives you a positive? Negative times what gives you a positive? What sign are we going to have here? Negative times what gives you a positive? So that's something we need to be cognizant and aware of as we do the mathematics and the steps. Negative times what gives you a positive? So the sign here from positive is going to be negative. Negative times so we have -5x. Negative times what gives you a negative? All right, very important that that sign here is going to be positive. So we have a +6. Let us be vigilant when taking out a negative sign, that we ensure that the sign change happens. Just a reminder, thank you Leto Kuhle in the comment section. In mathematics, a negative times a negative is a positive when we multiply signs. A negative times a positive gives you a negative. So that is basically the application of knowledge that we apply as we take out something that is negative. We want to still be able, when we multiply this back, to get the same expression that we had initially. Okay. So very important, that sign combination. Okay. Now, we have taken out the highest common factor, which is an important first step. Okay. We now can open two brackets. What we observe this time round is that the constant is not negative, the constant is positive. Now I want to check if people still remember what does it mean when the constant is positive. We had just looked at two situations where the constant was negative and it meant something. What does it mean when the constant is positive? Let's see if people still remember what we talked about yesterday. The concept here is important. The minute the constant is positive, all right, take note, guys, that when we took out the highest common factor, the constant changed. So now when we look at factorizing the trinomial that is quadratic using an appropriate method, we look at this constant. Okay, because I mean, we are always looking at the constant inside the brackets, right? So let's look at the constant inside the bracket since it's a positive sign. I hope, guys, you can now appreciate why it's important to always take out the highest common factor first. Okay? Yes, babes. Yes, Pamela. Yes, Matata. So yes, positive does not mean different. It means same signs. And remember, yesterday I said those same signs will be according to what? I said according to the mother, which is the middle term. Yesterday I said this positive 6 is like a father of a home. This middle term is like the mother of the home. You know? So when you have same signs, when you have positive, that means same signs. So the father has a positive attitude, but then in the home, who dictates the mood? It is the mother, all right, which is the middle term. So we say same signs according to who? The middle term. So if positive means same signs, what are these same signs that I'm going to be writing inside the bracket? They are not going to be positive signs, but they are going to be dictated according to the mother. They are both going to be negative, the terms. Then you look at the factors of 6. The pair, you have 1 and 6, you have 2 and 3. They have what? Same signs. The multiplication, guys, will give us positive 6 for both pairs. But when we add, which one will give us negative 5 when we add? Okay? It's obviously going to be 2 and 3. As Matata is saying, and William the Goat is saying. Okay? All right. So yes, 2 with 3. Then to get x squared, it's simple. X and x. Can we factorize any further? Can something else be done with these brackets to factorize them further? No. So it ends right there. Okay. Okay, so are we following, guys? Are we following? Are we following? Are we following? I hope we are. I truly hope we are. Okay? I truly hope we are. I truly hope we are. Because when we follow, then it's easy. It makes sense. Our last term after factorization for a quadratic trinomial always helps you and me to know what it is that we need to write as our signs inside the bracket. Okay, let's check out one more. Let's check out one more. Check out what, actually 2 last ones. Maybe you guys can do this one. Negative x squared minus 5x minus 6. I'm going to give you 2 minutes, 3 minutes to answer this question, and then also in the comment section, you can simply write down your final answer. Of course, you know you are going to do the step by step as when you do the method, because I need to see that step by step, but I want you guys at the end to write down your final answer. I want in the comment section for you guys to write down your final answer after doing everything that you know ought to be done to answer this question. (8:55). At 8:58, I'm going to say stop. A little bit. Okay. I'm looking at the comment section and we have 30 seconds to go. Okay, time is up. Thank you. Thank you. You guys, okay, your attempts are very much welcome. All right, so let's look at the question. We have how many terms in the expression? We have 3 terms in the expression. How many terms? 3. So, sign change rule needed? No. Highest common factor? Can we take out the highest common factor? Is there highest common factor? Yes, guys, because we are required to factorize fully. Is there highest common factor? Grade 10, Max Taput. Grade 10. Is there highest common factor? Yes. What is the highest common factor? Yes, little goatlet, it's -1. Take out -1, what happens to the terms inside the bracket? If we take out something that's negative, that means all the terms in the expression are going to change. X squared plus 5x plus 6. Okay. Now, last term. How is the last term? It's positive. What does that mean? Same signs. Positive always means the same signs. Same signs where? Same signs inside our bracket. According to who? We are going to have the same signs inside the bracket. According to who? According to the mother. According to the middle term. What is the sign of the middle term? Positive, positive, same, positive, positive, according to this. Remember, don't forget that negative. Don't drop the negative. It's still -1, even though the 1 is not written. That negative, the 1 is unseen, invisible God we serve. Factors of 6. 1 and 6, 2 and 3. Same signs for the factors of 6. Which one, when we add, gives us 5? When we add, is it 1 plus 6 that gives us 5? Or is it 2 plus 3 that gives us 5? We choose the one which, when we add, will give us the middle term. The multiplication, guys, is obvious. When you have chosen the right factors, the multiplication is obviously going to give us positive 6. Positive 1 times 6 gives you 6. Positive 2 times 3 gives you 6. But the addition, okay, 2 and 3, x, why x, because to get x squared, it's x times x that gives us x squared. Are we done? Yes, this is the answer. So to my beautiful friends that answered before the time was up, babes, beautifully done. Lindelani, beautifully answered. William the Goat, 100% answered. Okay, those who answered and answered incorrectly, please, guys, be mindful of what you are doing incorrectly, right? Because we cannot now, as grade 10 learners, be still making errors with factorization, but in grade 9 we did this. This is what stands in the way of us getting this kind of level 7, which I am saying to you guys, we need to get into the groove of this kind of level 7. It's becoming very competitive now with performance and entering into institutions of higher learning. We cannot be settling for 80% and yeah, we got level 7, 80. No, guys, we need to raise our sights a bit high. But you guys are fighting against this thing. The more you don't internalize these concepts that I'm trying to communicate to you, and then you still make silly errors. How can you guys still be saying to me the answer is negative into x plus 1 into x minus 1? It means that you guys are not hearing me when I'm saying, when you take out the common factor and it is a negative, it leads to a sign change inside the bracket. When you factorize the quadratic trinomial, if your constant is positive, what are you expecting to see inside the bracket with your signs? You're expecting to see the same signs, guys. According to who? According to the middle term. So don't mix the concepts, please. Right? This negative 1 does not go anywhere. It stays until the end. Whatever you take out as a highest common factor, it stays up until the end. Whatever you take out, it stays up until the end. Please, guys, please listen to me. Do not shy away. Don't be irresponsible and be careless and be lazy and whimsical in your thinking. Please, guys, don't be careless. You are going to slip away from this intended objective. Okay? And if you want to ensure that you've mastered what I'm teaching here, go and practice. Don't just after the live feel like, I've done maths for the day. Go and look at factorization problems with trinomials. Go and pump and see that you have mastered the concept. Remember, when the constant is negative, that means we're going to have different signs inside the bracket. Please, guys, please. Okay, the highest factor, okay, in your bracket will have the sign of the middle term. It's a different story when the constant is negative. Lindelani, ask a question. When the sign, the constant is negative, what is the approach? Now, when the sign is negative with our constant, after taking out the highest common factor, we can see that the constant is still negative. That means negative sign means difference. Difference means we're going to have different signs inside the bracket. You are not going to have the same signs when the constant is negative after taking out the highest common factor. You are going to have different signs inside your brackets. Then listen to what it says. The highest factor of the last term will have the sign of the middle term. The what? The highest factor of the last term is going to have the sign of the middle term. Are you hearing me, grade 10s? The highest factor of the last term will have the sign of the middle term. Please, my children, listen to me, please. So when you factorize here, it's a different story. Your signs are different inside the bracket. They're not the same. 2, the highest factor that you look for instance, the same factors of 6, you have 1 and 6, you have 2 and 3. So that means for 1 and 6, your highest factor is a negative according to the sign of the middle term. For 2 and 3, your highest factor has a negative according to the sign of the middle term. Then you look at these and you choose which one, when I add together, will give me negative 5. Is it 1 minus 6 that gives me negative 5? Or is it 2 minus 3? It's obviously this one. So therefore, these are your factors. Different signs, but the highest number, because when you add and subtract, you get negative 5. Please, my children, listen to me. Listen, please, please. I am not in any way trying to sell you dreams when I say this percentage is possible if a learner masters the concept and then applies it consistently. Listen to me. Listen to me. Right? I need you guys to be masters of maths. You must master the maths, guys. Let's look at this one. Factorize fully. Let me give you a chance to do it, right? And then we will look at it after you are done. So 3 minutes again, factorize fully. I think now I'm giving you a chance to apply yourselves, because me, I've been talking too much, right? This guy talks too much. I'm glad, William the God, that you now understand. Please, guys, let's continue to tap on the screen so that we can harass more people. Thank you for the follows. I am getting so many follows. So many follows. People are following because people have made New Year's resolutions, but I'm telling you, too many of us, we make those New Year's resolutions, but they are not practical, and we become impractical ourselves. We just are like, I wish I'll get that distinction. Hopefully it will come. I pray to God, but you guys forget that even the word of God says in James 2:17, faith without works is dead, being alone. Dead faith. So we must work. We must work. Negative x squared plus 4x plus 12. Okay. Please, guys, just do your own thing. Do it. Write it down. Answer it. Apply what I've taught you. Then you write your answer. Because I've seen that people's answers in the comment section are not necessarily the correct answer. We must write and check ourselves as well. Okay. Thank you, William the Goat. That was very fast. Appreciate your response in the comment section. Appreciate your response in the comment section. Hey, Pepska Forever, I see you there as well. Leto, I see you too. With just 30 seconds to go. With just 30 seconds to go. But if you think you've messed it, why don't you correct it? Okay. If you personally think you've messed it, why don't you correct it? That's my question. Someone will have the confidence to write their answer. But if you think you've messed it, why don't you correct it? That's my question. Okay, time is up. Time is up. Okay. All right. So I see, guys. I see. No, that's cool. That's cool that you're trying. But my question, try and correct when you feel you've messed something up. Yeah. And remember, guys, you can always check your answer, right? You can actually expand your answer back and see if it actually gives you what you initially started with. If I apply my FOIL here, x times x, x squared, x times -1, negative x. So x6 times 6, positive 6x, and 6 times -1, -6. So finally, what do I get? X squared, what's minus x plus 6? I get positive 5x minus 6. I seem to get back my answer when I check. This factorization is correct because it still gives me the original expression. Okay, I'm not saying that you do that in the paper where you are writing. You can always do that on the side. Just verify and check. 6 times -1 gives me -6. 6 minus 1 gives me positive 5. This is correct. Okay, let's come here now. Okay, first thing, how many terms in the expression? We have 3 terms. Can we, or applying the sign change rule, is it necessary? No. No SCR needed. 3. Is there a highest common factor that we can take out from the expression? Well, indeed there is. Remember, we take out the highest common factor according to the sign, the number, the letter. I always say, guys, the movies that we shouldn't watch, the ones that have S and L, the movies we should never watch. But S means the sign, N means the number, L means the letter. We take out the highest common factor sign. First term will give us the sign we need to take out. So if the first term is negative, we take out a negative sign. If the first term is positive, obviously the highest common factor sign will be positive. So that's the highest common factor sign. What about the number? There's a 1 that we don't see here. 1, 4, and 12. What is the highest common factor between 1, 4, and 12? It's going to be 1. So 1 is the highest common factor number. Letter of the alphabet. Is there a common letter in the 3 terms? No, ma'am. No, sir. So there's no highest common factor letter. We don't need that. So when you take out a -1, what is left inside the bracket? Taking out a negative means that the signs of my terms will change inside the bracket. X squared that was negative is now x squared that is positive. 4x that is positive is now -4x. 12 that is positive is now -12. This first step, 100% correct. Commander, very dangerous your answer there. Finally, we look at the last term. This last term is what, guys? Negative. What does negative mean? It means we are going to have different signs. Different signs where in the brackets. But let's remember this. Furthermore, it means the highest factor of what? Of 12. So we are going to now go and check what are the factors of 12. We have 1 and 12. We have 2 and 6. Okay, guys, how do I find these factors? 1 as a natural number goes into 12 how many times? 12 times. So that's why I know 1 and 12 go together. The next number after 1 is 2. Does 2 go into 12? Yes. How many times? 6 times. That's why I know the 2 and 6 go together. 3 goes into 12 how many times? 4 times. So that's why I know 3 and 4 go together. These are all my factors of 12. But remember, I said different signs for my factors. The highest factor of 12 is having the sign of the middle term. The highest factor of 12 will have the sign of the middle term. What is the middle term? It's minus. So I'm going to go to all my factors, identify the highest factor, and give it a negative sign. Between 1 and 12, it's negative. Between 2 and 6, 6 is negative. Between 3 and 4, 4 is negative. Then the other signs, positive. It is safe to say that the multiplication of these numbers is going to always give me a negative 12, which is what I want for my last term. The multiplication is always going to give me negative 12 because I've assigned the signs correctly. The addition must give me the coefficient of the middle term, which is negative 4. So which addition will give me negative 4? Is this addition going to give me negative 4? Is it this one? Or is it that one? Which one of these factors are going to give me an addition of negative 4? Which one of these factors is going to give me negative 4? Thank you, William. Okay, so it's the positive 2 and the negative 6. Okay, guided by the highest factor of 12 is having the sign of the middle term. Please, guys. So final answer is negative. You open the brackets. X squared, you are going to get it by saying x times x. The sign is going to be negative and positive. I'm having different signs. Negative for your constant means different signs inside the bracket. Okay. That is it. Whether you start with x plus 2 and end with x minus 2, that is not really a problem. But it has to be that one of your brackets has negative 6 and then your other has positive 2. Which one you start with, whether you start with this bracket and end with this one, is of no importance. Okay. Okay, so those who in the comment section Babska forever fixed. Little Kuhle got it correct. And William the Goat as well. Good job. You did, little Wool, and William the Goat as well. So guys, please, man, please, are we together here? Okay. Yeah, I sure hope we are. I need you guys to be on top of your game, man, with these problems. I need you guys to be on top of your game. I am saying this is possible, but you guys need to be on top of your game. Let us supplement what we are understanding from what I'm teaching you with appropriate problems and examples so that we can finally master the concept of factorization as it appears. Okay. Yeah. Guys, I'm now thinking you guys should confidently be able to factorize trinomials that have a coefficient of 1 and negative 1, or trinomials that evidently have a highest common factor that you take out, which leads to your bracket having x squared. You should be in the position, whether the constant is negative or positive, you should be able to answer the questions without a challenge or a problem. Okay. I want to do one last one with you guys. Just one last example. Okay. I'm gonna do. I now know. You're welcome, William. Welcome. Knowing is important. Knowing is important. I just want to. Sorry. Okay, let's just look at this question here. I want us to look at this question here. The 2x squared plus 22xy plus 56y squared. Okay. Okay, please attempt to do it. Just do it, and then I'll allow you guys to just do it. Okay, more are coming your way. Okay, and I just want to say as well that these are still problems that you factorize that are relevant to grade 9 learner. If a grade 9 learner will be able to answer these questions, because grade 9 learner should have still been exposed to this as well when they are doing. Okay, here's the first one. Grade 10, guys, grade 10. But of course, as a grade 12 learner, you should be in the position where you can answer these easily. Because let me tell you now that as a grade Okay, I think these will be the last three. Okay, factorize fully. Yeah. That's what the question says, not solve, it's factorize. Thank you guys for 10.2k likes. I love this. Please guys, if you can, 2026 gifts, really like them there. Okay, yeah, so these is what I call quadratic trinomials with two variables. Quadratic trinomials that have two variables. Okay, so I see you guys with your answers there in the comment section. But remember, we are saying factorize what? We want to factorize fully. Leave no stone unturned. Okay, that's what we want to do. So let me just take you through them, these three, all right? And after doing them, I just hope that the concept will be clear for you guys. So if you look at this question, this is 2x squared plus 22xy plus 56y squared. So fundamentally, I said two variables because the variables that you see are x squared and you see y squared. But in the middle, you see both variables with the degree exponent of 1 for both. They are squared at the end. Does that make sense? So what then, guys, we need to be mindful of here when we do these particular questions is that these are still fundamentally quadratic trinomials. Are we together? These are still what? Quadratic trinomials. So they should then be treated as such. They should be still treated as quadratic trinomials. So let us not be moved or, kind of like fazed by the fact that, we usually have a constant here, all right, which does not have a variable. This is still a quadratic trinomial. So we still, with the trinomial, we have our golden rules that we follow. Step number one, what do? We ask how many terms are in the expression. So how many terms do we see here? There are 3 terms, right? Step number 2, do we need to apply the sign change rule? No. No sign chain rule needed. Step number 3. Is there a highest common factor? So yes, evidently guys, we do have a highest common factor. We can take it out according to the sign, the number, and the letter. So let's do that. What is the highest common factor? I think you guys have done a very good job of taking out the highest common factor. All right, so the highest common factor here, and I can see guys your answers there in the comment section, which I'm very proud and happy about. Okay, but for those that maybe are still lagging behind, like my network, let's just get them all on board as well. So the highest common factor here, the sign highest common factor obviously is the sign of the first term. So we have a positive highest common factor sign. The number between 222 and 56. We can see between 222 and 56 that the highest factor, the highest common factor, okay, is going to be what? It is going to be 2. Ethan, you're funny. Highest common factor between 222 and 56 is 2. Okay, 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 22 11 times, and 2 goes into 56 2 times. It is the highest number that goes into these two numbers without leaving a remainder. Then what about the letter, guys? Do we have a common variable? X, there's no X here. Y, there's no Y there, so there's no common factor variable. So we take out the common factor, which is 2. Then inside we write down the common, what is left over. 2 times what is x squared? That means we are left with x squared. 2 times what gives us 22xy. Okay, let's start with the sign. Positive times what gives us a positive? That is a positive. Move on to the number. 2 times what gives us 22? It is 11. Okay. Then 2 times xy. 2 times xy. 2 times what gives us that particular thing? That is xy. That's left behind. 2 times what? Positive times what gives us a positive? It's still a positive. 2 times what is 56? That is 28. Then the y squared, that's also left over. Now guys, we are not done, because even though these 3 terms, we have been able to successfully take out the highest common factor, what are we left with here, guys? Okay, that's fine, no problem, Lindeland. We have 3 terms and hopefully you get better soon. Sorry about that. Okay, I think maybe the body is flushing out all the toxic stuff that I'm sure people have been eating a lot of things during the December holiday. I think the body is just trying to flush out everything now so that you can start afresh. Okay? So x squared plus 11xy plus 28y squared. Guys, this is a quadratic trinomial. We can factorize it. Okay, it's a quadratic trinomial. It can be factorized. So if you look at this is x squared and this is y squared. So we are going to open those 2 brackets. All right, let's just take care of the letters now. This x times this x is going to give me x squared. Remember, for your last term, it's y and y that are going to give you y squared. All right, and in between, when we multiply, we need to have the xy, which will only come because we have x and x. For your first term, when you multiply out, y and y. For your last term, when you multiply out, because it gives you y squared. Now, all you now do, because the letters are taken care of, now you can deal with the trinomial the way that you know how. This is your last term. It is positive. What does positive mean? Positive means same sign. according to who? Same sign according to who? The father is positive, all right? And he even has a stash of money because he's like, yeah, things will be great today, you know. He's not alone this time around. There's things that are there as well with the father. It's like, things are good. The mother wakes up on the right side of the bed today and is like, yes, guys, we can go to the theme park and have a lot of fun there at Gold Reef City. Because daddy has money, I'm also feeling good. So the family, guys, the same signs according to the mother. The mother is positive, so that means everyone in the household is positive. Let's remember, Keka, that we need the factors of 28, which when we multiply give us 28, but when we add them, we get the number. So we are going to look for those factors, guys. 1 and 28. 2 goes with 14. 3, no. 4 goes with 7. Signs are the same. The multiplication is going to give us 28 because 1 times 28, 2 times 14, and 4 times 7 all give us 28. Which one when I add together? Yes, William the goat. When the mother is negative, everybody is negative, my friend. In the house, everyone is negative. No one has a good time. Okay, so that only applies when we have same sign, guys. So is it 1 plus 28? What does 1 plus 28 give us? It gives us 29. Is this, guys, 29? It's 11. No. 2 plus 14, that gives us 16 when we add. Is this 16? No. 4 plus 7 gives us 11. Ooh, I think we have a winner. We have a winner here. Do you see? So we can write here 7 and 4. Don't forget the 2 that you had taken out. It does not fall away. Many learners take out the highest common factor and somehow they just leave it behind. No, the 2 that we took out as the highest common factor must continue to feature even in the final answer. This is how we factorize this fully. Okay, are you with me, guys? So do not be thrown away because all of a sudden you have 2 variables and the constant term has a perfect square variable. Okay. Yes, AJ. So that's why we are also polishing our minds in the midst of vacation. Okay. Yeah. So don't be thrown away, guys. Don't be thrown off because of the second variable, which is a perfect square. All right. Okay. We still move in the same way. Okay. And guys, this factorization is always applying when the coefficient of x squared or the coefficient of the first term is 1. All right. Yeah. This same sign, it applies in those situations. Okay. I'm trying to the second. I was lost at the first. I don't understand x and y. Of course, you just came in and you came in. You don't understand because you came in and your negative attitude already blocked you. It is vacation. You see, that's the thing. You came in, your attitude was negative and then it blocked you. Like, guys, you guys don't understand how much your guys' attitude. As an individual, your attitude goes a long way. Your attitude stops you dead in your tracks or it moves you. All right. I see you are saying you did not understand the first one, which is fine, but I'm asking now, do we understand after explanation? You need to let me know, do you now understand after explanation this first one? Or there's still things you don't understand? Okay. Because the only thing that has changed here is that there is a variable for the last term. That's the only thing. And we fix that very quickly because whatever that perfect square variable is, we ensure that we take care of our variables first so that we can then go back to what we originally knew. Okay, so I'm glad you now understand. Okay, let us be clear, guys, about this. Okay. Yes, you can attempt the second one yourself. They love Ahmad. Attempt the second one. You can even attempt the third one on your own. Do all the last 2 and 3 on your own. Yes, Iman, the last term, if it has a variable with that is a perfect square. Remember, a perfect square variable, guys, is any variable that has a even number. Okay, so b to the power 4 is a perfect square variable. B to the power 2 is a perfect square variable. B to the power 6 is a perfect square variable. Y to the power 8 is a perfect square variable. These are variables raised to an even exponent. Okay, yeah. And of course, b squared, the square root of b squared will give you b. So that means you would write b and b for your brackets. The square root of b to the power 4 would give you b squared. That means you would have b squared on either side. The square root of b to the power 6 is b to the power 3. It means you'd have b to the power 3 on one side, b to the power 3 on that side. The square root of y to the power 8 is y to the power 4, which means you'd have y to the power 4 on one bracket and y to the power 4 on the other bracket. So please, guys, take note that these are perfect square variables. If that is the case for your last term, you have a perfect square variable, then it means that that condition of it being a trinomial, as long as the first term is a square, is also a perfect, has a variable that has a perfect square, and then you can see both of the variables in your middle term, then it means it's an appropriate quadratic trinomial. You can factorize it. Okay, it is factorizable as long as you can get the factors and actually get the answer correctly, you see. So yeah, let us know what we need to know so that all can be well, you see. William the Goat, you think you are done, but you are not, right? Hopefully you know you are not done. You can continue further, right? For number 3. That is not at the end. You have to factorize fully, and I think you can still factorize fully, I'm sure, for that one. But very good initial steps. Hi guys, I think we are getting there, right? We are getting there. I still want to see the answers for number 2 there, with those who have completed number 2. What did you finally get at the end? And then also, if you do and done number 3, you can also showcase for me in the comment section what you got for number 3. I saw William the Goat, you also factorized the number 2 here, but I think there was obviously an error because, yeah, the coefficient of 3 is not negative, it is positive. Okay, I was just going up the comment section. I saw that, hey, danger sign there. Dangerous. Okay, Mushi, very good. The initial highest common factor. Okay, but that's not the end of the problem, Mushi. You can continue further and finish it off. Lindelani is having a tough time there with toilet duties. You'll be okay though. You'll survive. Yeah, thank you guys for all the follows. The follows are very much appreciated. Thank you for the likes. We are on 11.6k likes. Really nice to be seeing the number of likes up at that stage. And please, if you can, to contribute to the live creator. It really goes a long way when that support is actually happening. 3 into a plus. Okay, the love Amanda. We need to be very careful there. Okay. Positive last term means same signs. According to who are we the same? Okay. According to who? That is the question. So the signs for our brackets are according to who. Miss They Love. Navundla. Final answer for number 2. Mushi, be very careful as well. You forgot to write what's outside the bracket. Okay. When I look at your brackets, I'm actually happy, but what's outside the bracket, your final answer would be incorrect because you omitted, you left behind. Who did you leave behind? You left behind your highest common factor. Remember, your highest common factor needs to stick with you till the very end. If your highest common factor is left behind, you lose marks for the final answer. Do not leave behind Mr. Highest common factor. Navundla, you have different signs. Is that the case? If the constant is positive, we have different signs inside the bracket. Is that true? Navundla. Yes, Mushi. Otherwise, you will lose marks. You are saying we don't want 95% to 100%. You are saying I don't want that thing. Letokuhle, very good. I think we are getting it, eh? We're getting the flow of this. Number 2, you guys are doing well there. Nicely done. Okay. Very good. You can see the light. Yeah, the more we see, guys, that's what's important. You must see. You must see. You must have the sight. You must have the eyes to see. The ears to hear, and then the eyes to see. And then the will to do. Right? The more these things are, then things will be great. Okay. Alright, so guys, let me just do these now. Okay, I think you guys at least have given you sufficient adequate time. So we look at this problem. How many terms do we have? There are 3. Question number 2. Is there a need to apply the sign change rule in this problem? No. Question number 3. Is there a highest common factor? Yes. We take out that highest common factor according to 3 things. S, the sign. N, the number. L, the letter. So the sign is positive, the number is 3 in this situation because 3 is a factor. It does go into all the numbers. It's the highest number that can actually be there. And then we have no letter that's common. So that's positive 3, that's the highest common factor. What are we left with? 3 into what gives us a squared? It is a squared. Positive times what gives us negative? It's still negative. 3 times what gives us 15, or what is 15 divided by 3? It's 5. Then the AB is there because it's left over. 3 times what gives us a positive. So positive times what gives us a positive, it's a positive. 3 times what gives us 108. That is 36. The b squared is there. All right. So to make life easy, we bring down the 3, of course. We open 2 brackets because we can potentially see that they are factors of 36, which when we multiply give us positive 36. When we add, they give us negative 5. So factorization is feasible. Let's take care of the letters first, because a times a for f with our FOIL will give us a squared. B times b for last is going to give us b squared. Guys, remember, if we had, let's say, b to the power 4 here, then it would have been b squared times b squared. If we would have had b to the power 8, for instance, we'd have written b to the power 4 and b to the power 4. If we had b to the power 6 here, we would have had b to the power 3, b to the power 3. So what I'm saying is that any perfect square variable, guys, if it was b squared, we would have had b and b. B to the power 4, b squared and b squared. B to the power 6, b to the power 3 and b to the power 3. Y to the power 8, y to the power 4 and y to the power 4. We write those factors that will basically give us back that. Write those factors of the variable which will give us back that. Okay. So the letters are taken care of. Okay. Then we move on from there. And we think of what we've always thought about. This is a positive last term. Positive means same sign. Same sign according to who, guys? According to the mother, or according to the sign of the middle term. So that means our same signs are both going to be negative. All we need now is the number, the factors of 36, which when we multiply give us 36, but when we add them give us negative 5. Guys, we have 36 and 1. We have 2 and 18. We have 12 and 3. We have 9 and 4. Okay, and I think that's where the party ends. Okay, I'm kidding, man. We have 6 and 6. Okay, 7, no. 8, no. 9. All right. So I'm sure you guys can see same signs. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. No ways, guys. No ways. Is this going to be factorizable? All right. Let's. And I love the fact that we did this question. Minus 36 minus 1 gives me negative 37. I'm not going to be getting no middle term there. Negative 18 minus 2 is going to give me negative 20. I'm getting no middle term there. Negative 12 minus 3 is giving me negative 15. I'm getting no middle term there. Negative 6 minus, negative 9 minus 4 is negative 13. I'm getting no middle term there. And then negative 6 minus 6 is negative 12. I'm getting no negative 5 from all of these. So that means we are done here with the factorization. Okay. All right. The smaller number should be positive. No, Leto, no William the Goat. Remember, guys, plus means what? Same sign. In the bracket, guys, we have the same signs according to the mother. Negative and negative. There's no other combination of signs that will work. Don't force the situation. Don't force the situation. Okay? Yeah. So this was a good problem. I love the fact that this was a problem that we had. this trinomial is unfactorizable. All right, we leave our answer there as 3 into a squared minus 5ab plus 36. You guys will now probably appreciate this thing of saying when you have a last term that is positive, what does that say to you? Same sign. According to who? The mother. Are there any factors that exist where you multiply 36, where both numbers are negative, but then at the same time when you add those factors you get negative 5? Hi. You see, no one gives you that here. No one. So that means it's only highest common factor factorization that is allowed for this problem. But do you know what, guys? If I was to change this question and have this as the situation, I get then then you'd be able to get answers now. You'd be able to flow, guys, wouldn't you? Because when you take out the common factor, you're going to have a minus, which means different signs. Different signs means, of course, there is factors that you can add together which will give you the negative 5. So there will obviously be an answer that will result from that. Okay, I know. But that was a good question to ask you guys so that you guys can see that there are situations where factorization of a trinomial is possible further, and there's situations where the factorization of the trinomial is not possible. So you have to end where factorization ends. Okay? If you can factorize further, you factorize further. If you can't, that means if factorization is not possible, not that you can't, if it is not possible to factorize, we don't go further. Okay? I think the last one you guys have in the bag. All right, I'm going to draft up some problems for these types of questions, and I'm going to post it on the TikTok page so that you guys have problems that you can do. I'm going to post those problems as a video, all right, or as pictures here on my TikTok homepage. Okay, so after I'm done with this live, I'm going to draft up some questions and I'm going to post some so that you guys can have some practice problems to do. Okay, you just have to give me time to draft them up, and then I'll post them for you guys. And then please check them out and do them before we have the live lesson, the next live lesson tomorrow. Okay, let's work this out then. The last question that you guys had to do. You can also do this one, obviously, in your own time. I'm just going to do this one, guys, and that's it for the day. I have to jump off this live. Things I need to take care this morning. So grade 11s, I think grade 11s, I'm going to hold you off. How many terms? 3. Sign change rule? No need. Highest common factor? Yes. Negative 4. What's left inside? Y squared plus YZ plus... No, I'm kidding, guys. Remember, when you take out a negative, what happens? Ooh, be careful. Take out negative 4. You have y squared. Negative 4 times what gives you? Negative 4y squared, it is y squared. Negative 4 times what gives you? Positive 4. Negative times a what gives us a positive? It is a negative. 4 times what gives you 4? It is 1. The yz, you write there. Okay? Negative times what gives you a positive? It is negative. And then, of course, 4 times what gives you 288. Okay? So in other words, you can say 288 divided by 4, right? Which you should be able to get. What's 288 divided by 4? That is 72. And then don't forget the z squared. Okay? Now in your head, even before you jump in, you can obviously get the factors and sort it out before you even open the brackets. Obviously this is a perfect square. Z squared is also a perfect square. Then we can see, guys, that 72, right? Factors of 72. There are many factors, but specifically the one that will work is going to be our 9 and 8. So remember, minus means what? Different signs. Different signs where inside the bracket we have what? Different signs. So we are going to write y and y for our y squared. We are going to write z and z to get z squared for our last term. Our signs are going to be different, minus and plus. That is evident. Then the factors, okay, which when we multiply give us 72, but when we add we get -1, is definitely going to be the highest factor, is going to have the negative sign. And then obviously we are going to have 8 there. -9 times 8 is 72. -9 plus 8 is -1, which is the coefficient of the middle term. That basically is how the cookie crumbles, and that's how we are able to get to the final answer. Okay, my people, I have to love and leave you now. Thank you so much. That was a very, I think, enriching lesson. Okay, quadratic trinomials involving 2 variables. Okay, yeah. So thank you so much. Let me love and leave you. Until next time.